Warning: the following episode of Anime Abandoned contains scenes with the implication of sexual assault. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's been a while since we last checked in on our good old buddy Go Nagai, and boy howdy has he been a busy fella. With the new and well-received release of Devilman Crybaby, it must be said that Go Nagai is experiencing quite the jubilee, what with this year also being his diamond anniversary. That's right, 50 years ago this year marks his first foray into the world of manga, and the industry is keen to celebrate it. Personally speaking, while I wasn't a fan of Crybaby, the fact that it spurred so many people who may have never even heard of the original Devilman OVA before to seek it out is a net positive, even if the fan base didn't take too kindly to my thoughts on the subject. If I could turn back time, I probably would have restructured the review a bit, as well as lay off all those midnight Jack-in-the-Box runs. But I stand by the majority of my criticisms toward Devilman all those years ago. However, if I were to compare it to Crybaby, I probably would be kinder to it. At the very least, it was willing to slow down scene progression and let a horrific atmosphere build up tension. Sure, this also led to a lot of pointless downtime as well, and that was frustrating to sit through, but what's way more frustrating is an anime that goes at breakneck pace because it has to go potty. Incidentally, this is also why I never got into Baccano. Over the years, I've had my misgivings towards Go Nagai and his work, but I cannot and will not ever take away the fact that the man bleeds creativity. I once said that Nagai is a busted fire hydrant of ideas, and it seems that his entire body of work is him trying to capture all of what comes out on a paper regardless of its content. This is the man that got himself banned from Japanese store shelves because his comics were too lewd. This is the man who took that controversy and then wrote in scenes where protesters violently kill his own characters to make a meta point about it. The man cares not for your opinion of him or what he does. He only cares that his stories are told. You just gotta applaud that kind of hard-nosed, devil-may-care attitude. I mean, in a way, he is what every artist strives to be. If you're an artist, then I'm sure you can relate. Remember when you were a kid and you drew whatever you wanted and you didn't care who liked it or not? You drew on printer paper, notebook paper, your own textbooks when you were bored. It didn't matter. You had something you wanted to create, so you did it. Fast forward through years of sketchbooks, fine pencils, Sakura pens, and a few cracked versions of Photoshop, and now the shelf life of liking anything you do is about 5 minutes. Go Nagai doesn't get enough credit for being the artist victorious, for not losing what made him want to be an artist in the first place. Even if that preservation led to some strange decisions.
Open! Thighs! Jump!
Yeah, that was really weird, but you know what? At least it was dumb fun. Kind of like Iron Virgin Jun. Based off a single-volume manga made back in 1983, Iron Virgin Jun is a single-episode OVA made back in 1992, and was released stateside by Media Blasters in 2003. Befitting its creator, the manga was borderline hentai, but the anime cleaned it up for general release? Which feels kind of wrong. I mean, you know what you're getting when you watch a Go Nagai anime. Trying to take out the sex and violence from it is like trying to take out the bacon and cheese in a bacon cheeseburger. Sure, they're not good for you, but what the hell is left for you afterward? Say what you will about how pointlessly violent Devilman was, but if you removed those scenes and have nothing to replace it with, there wouldn't be much of an anime left to tell. That's what's so egregious about sanitary jobs like this. It's not just that they take out blood and gore and naughty bits, it's that they don't fill in these gaps with anything meaningful. Rarely was an anime made better by just snipping out the crude stuff. I said rarely. And that's what I was fearing when I popped in this DVD, that I was going to get a watered-down, bland anime from the Grand Master of Ultraviolence. Boy, was I wrong! I am proud to say that the what the fuckery is not only alive and well in Iron Virgin Jun, it is thriving. Sure, it's not as explicit as its manga counterpart, but it doesn't need it to irrevocably rack your brain. Buckle up your balls, buckaroos, because when this ride gets going, it don't stop till it's finished. This is Iron Virgin Jun. We begin with an outdoor dinner party celebrating the 18th birthday of a well-to-do family's daughter, and holy Christ, that's a whale! No, I'm not being sexist, they really are serving an entire whale at this dinner party. Seriously, did Greenpeace key their car or something?
Everybody knows that the Nando Group is a very successful conglomerate. I am looking forward to seeing how much effort you will make for Jun's hand.
Let me proudly introduce our son, Akiratane. You'll find that he's a lovely boy.
Hey, Ma, what is the beautiful bride you're gonna buy me?
Yeah, it's one of those kinds of dubs. Meanwhile, at NASA, the family is trying to track down their daughter who has ran away from her overbearing marriage-forcing mother.
It is the Asuka family custom to select the groom on the daughter's 18th birthday. And this is the day our Jun has turned 18.
Yes, Queen Brane, we already know it's her birthday. This anime repeats itself so much, I'm surprised I didn't review this on Groundhog Day.
Miss June, please give up. Don't try anything stupid. Please just return to the party hall.
Excuse me, what do you mean stupid? What do you think, that I was trying to run away from my house?
Yes? So Mama Brane's goons manage to corner Jun here, but then she hulks out and her fucking intro slams the viewer in the face like a haymaker. Oh, and you gotta love the fact that they blatantly ripped off the Gem and the Holograms font for the title too. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is some premium grade schlock. Mostly because every single fight scene in this anime can be called like a goddamn wrestling match.
Jun closes the gap and delivers a devastating Daniel Bryan flying knee. And Jun knocks the ninja for a loop with a modified side suplex face buster. Oh, the Kokina clutch! The Kokina clutch! And an enziguri finishes off the chumps. What a slobber knocker.
Thank you, Savage. Looks like you're gonna be here for a while, unfortunately. Yes, we're all impressed that you can rip open a cheap under... How did you do that?
Do what?
The rest of the goons hightails it when they realize who they're up against, leaving only this waifish scrub to follow her and plead for her to return.
Come on, Karate! Do something!
That's easy to say, but that's why you shouldn't have run away.
Run away? Is that what you think? I'm not trying to run away. Why would I do that?
And Miss June, will you please come home?
What? Are you out of your mind? I'll be forced to get married if I go home now.
Which is why you're not running away. All of a sudden, Jun's aunt poofs into being and tells her that when she's ready, she can come to her island. But first, she has to toro this humanoid bull into a wall and escape. Olé!
Mother, I have no excuse for all of this. It was all because of Jun. All of our plans have been destroyed in a moment. I'm so upset.
Can't you tell by how emotional and passionate I am?
I've got it, Mother. I have such a splendid and wonderful idea.
And what a plan it is! Hold on to that for a bit. But still, it's actually a refreshing change of pace to see a female character act with some agency for once.
Oh, save me!
It's okay. Don't worry, it's just a tree.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, we've been walking in circles. We must be lost.
Oh no! I can't take it!
Well, that didn't take long. She's capable of kicking 12 kinds of ass and taking all the names while doing it, but she's also a scaredy cat whiner the moment any situation turns rough, while simultaneously also being such a pampered little princess she didn't even know you can eat apples with the skin on. She's like if Indiana Jones and Willie Scott were the same person. These characteristics don't fit together at all. Let's see, Virgin, who doesn't know anything about the outside world, takes a bite of an apple. How much you want to bet that it'll cut to a there it is?
Sorry, but that outfit is not okay.
And why not?
Well, because. Anyway, wait here for me. I'm gonna go and get you some new clothes, okay? Now just wait.
In a normal schlocky anime, this is where the heroine gets cornered by a gang of rapists.
Before bringing you back to the mansion,
We can take your virginity.
bon appetit!
In a Go Nagai schlocky anime, the rapists have xenomorph dicks. Also, you plant an obvious Adam and Eve allegory and then go around and turn the xenomorph phallic imagery literal? What is media theory?
You're going to lose it right now!
Stop it!
Okay, forget media theory. What is anything? Luckily, Wayfish provides a distraction and allows Jun an opening to scissorlock this asshole and take this fucko's head off with a clothesline from hell.
We know she is still in town, but the signal is too weak and we're having trouble following her in the city.
Oh, Queen Brane. You are the living end. Though they managed to give the rapists the slip, the entire city is after them since Queenie here put a bounty on Jun's head, turning this into the hardest day's night they've ever had. Where the 50-year-olds at?
Honey, be honest with me. Do you really know what you're doing?
You don't seem to understand. She is the one who will inherit the Asuka conglomerate. The Asuka Group is responsible for all the affiliates and conglomerates, as well as its 1 million employees.
You know, for someone who is so infatuated with their family name and business, you sure do like to pronounce it wrong.
She is the one who will inherit the Asuka conglomerate.
Something's happened to Azuma-san.
Oh gee, I wonder what the anime could possibly want to convey with this extreme close-up of the queen's distorted reflection as she goes on a diatribe about how this is all for the sake of her family's name. Go Nagai uses subtlety like Annie Wilkes uses a sledgehammer. However, it must be said that of all the weird things Iron Virgin Jun does, and there are quite a few of them, one of the more peculiar is how it hints at a deeper theme of self-realization and reliance, like here as Jun sees herself in a broken mirror, unsure of where to go or what to do. You could make the argument that just because she's physically capable of taking care of threats, she isn't prepared for real life because of her sheltered upbringing. The anime even reinforces this notion by having Jun's grandmother give her a pendant of a cage when she was a little girl, telling her that should she keep it, she'll always be safe. And as Jun is driven to the edge of the city, unable to go back home, she realizes that the only place to go is her aunt's island, and finally lets go of her former life by washing off her makeup and taking off her blonde wig. But then you realize you just spent all that mental energy thinking about an anime that has a man with a drill bit dildo. Really, the weirdest thing about all of this is that for how obvious the anime is playing at these themes and ideas, it seems incapable of actually relating these themes and ideas into the actual plot. It just causes more distractions than anything meaningful. That is to say, while the act of her taking off her wig and makeup is a symbolically rich act, it doesn't alleviate the burning question of why she was wearing a wig in the first place. These problems only become stronger as we head toward the end of the second act, where Queen Brane's forces have caught the two before they can make off for the island, and despite dropping a sweet macho man elbow, she's no match for Gun!
You will see. Things will change from now on. You are the one who will inherit the Asuka family legacy. A name that must not be forsaken.
Or pronounced correctly. And here, at the 30-minute mark of this 45-minute OVA, we come to the tipping point. The part where the anime casts aside everything it tried to accomplish and rams full speed off the cliff and tumbles head over heels into the abyss of madness. Okay, you can do this, Bennett. Deep breaths. Steel yourself. And remember who you are. To be great is to go on is to be far is to return. Let's do this.
Jun, the women born in Asuka are different from ordinary women. We get stronger by taking men's energy. We feel whole with it. With the bloodline of an Asuka, you cannot live without a man. You strongly need one.
That's a lie! It's nothing but a lie!
That's only because you don't really know about men. These guys will teach you what real men are like. You'll see. Better yet, you'll feel. And then you'll know.
What? So, your plan, all along, to get your daughter shaped up, flying right, and getting with the program, was to hire these gang rapists to rape your daughter, so that way she'll know why she needs a man. Letting go for just a moment the notion of taking men's energy and becoming stronger. What?! I can't even wrap my head around how you even come to this conclusion. I'm not even sure what the hell the end goal is for Queen Brane here. She wants Jun to have a real man, and to show her why she needs a real man, she's going to have, by her own definition, real men rape her. So by that thinking, you want your own daughter to marry her own potential rapist. Go fuck yourself. From top to bottom, this whole exchange blows past plain old misogyny and misandry and chugs to out-and-out tar-thick and black misanthropy. People equal shit, and there is no hearing of an argument otherwise. The only bright spot I can take away from this is that because she explained how women become strong in their family, that means Jun got all her strength by her own merits, which is awesome. But really beside the point. The only thing left to say about this entire mess is that if there is still anyone out there drumming the beat of Gendo Akari or Goku being the worst parent in anime, y'all can eat shit. I suppose her explanation of how their family works is why Queen Brane's husband is a meek little doormat that just cows to his wife's awful demands. But he's not so tame that he can't see wrong from right and manages to help Jun escape and even takes out one of the rapists. And then this happens. Well, at least we now know they're just cod pieces. Wait a minute, why am I comforted by that? Thankfully, Wayfish and Papa help make the save and dispatch the last of them. But that leaves Jun to deal with Mommy Dearest. It's a classic David and Goliath match, with Jun trying to work Mommy's arm or leg, just trying to create a weakness to exploit, but Mama ragdolls her from pillar to post, and even Gorilla presses the ever-loving shit out of Jun. But sometimes, it's not the biggest that wins the day, it's the one who knows not to run into stone at 40 miles an hour. Unfortunately, Grandma Brane is a sore loser and gives Mama a second demonic wind. But through the power of a well-placed hammered steak and a wicked sweet belly-to-back suplex, the day is saved. Sort of. While Queen Brane is no longer under the influence of Grandma, Jun finally realizes the rift between her and her aunt was simply caused by the fact that her aunt was able to live by her own choices, and she wasn't. Jun tosses her pendant, and now we all know why the caged bird suplexes. The end. Well, that was fucking weird! The last thing anyone expects in an anime called Iron Virgin Jun is the thematic spectacle and the trappings of tradition and family dynamics. The old holds sway over the young like a yoke on an ox, and only the brave can kick it off. And also dildos.
Stop it! Ah!
You know, that too. In a weird way, I find Iron Virgin Jun admirable, if only because it attempts to tell what is often a male-dominated story and gives it a female facelift. It's not exactly true to life unless women routinely have wrestling matches with their grandma-possessed mothers, but the idea of going your own way in spite of your toxic family is a gender-neutral experience. It wasn't able to cohesively weave these themes into the story proper, and the main character waffles between capable warrior and wilting flower in a completely unbelievable manner, but I feel that its failure in these regards make it a more interesting dissection. I suppose I'll say that while Iron Virgin Jun isn't a great bad anime, it is a fascinating bad anime, with more than enough what the fuckery to keep your interest long after the DVD ends. Well, that was certainly a trip and a half, but why don't we take our foot off the accelerator and instead talk about an anime that's less, you know, out of its goddamn gourd. Till next time.